Tal Heinrich. She is a spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Tal, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I want to start with the complications today. Of course, the day ended well. Everyone is so happy that these hostages were released, 13 Israelis, these 4 Thai nationals. They are all thankfully back in Israel. What is your sense of what the complications were earlier today? Was it a question about discrepancies with the list? Our colleague Jeremy said that 14 were supposed to be on it, but it ended up being 13. Was it Hamas complaints about aid? What can you clarify for us?
Well, I can't expand much on that. What I can say is that I think it's a question that should be referred to Hamas. You see, they are the ones committing a war crime. They're committing a crime against humanity, an ongoing one with every day, every moment, every minute that they keep holding hostages, children, babies, elderly. And today we saw a flexing of muscles because we have a deal in place. We are fulfilling our part of the deal, and we want them to fulfill theirs.
Sorry, what do you mean by a flexing of muscles? What exactly did Hamas do?
Well, again, I can't expand much about things going on behind the scenes, but what I can tell you, I know that there are many reports ongoing and many rumors and such. I can't comment on anything like that. But I will tell you the rules of the deal are very clear. There is a humanitarian pause in place, as you know, for a second day. Hamas could have released these hostages at any given moment, Alex. Unfortunately, we had this delay. We really hope that this delay will not repeat tomorrow.
Hamas has complained that Israel wasn't fulfilling its end of the deal by allowing the amount of aid that was agreed to into the Gaza Strip. What do you say to that?
Well, in these 2 days, these past 2 days, today and yesterday, we've seen the largest amount of humanitarian aid making its way into the Gaza Strip. We're talking about hundreds of trucks loaded with water, with medical supplies, with essential provisions, with food, with equipment for shelters and so on, with fuel and cooking gas. And we will see more of that in the coming days. So we hope that the deal will continue and that, like today and yesterday, although the delay, we will see the release of more hostages. And as you know, and as CNN also correctly reported, there's a mechanism in place by which the deal could be extended. We said that for every extra 10 hostages that Hamas will release, we will agree to another day of humanitarian pause.
I do want to ask you about how much farther you think it can be extended, but in terms of the fragility of the deal, we did see, in the words of a Qatari official I spoke with earlier, saying there was a very bleak moment in which it looked like today might not happen at all. So how do you think what happened today will impact what happens over the next 2 days?
Alex, I can tell you how it impacted the people of Israel. This has been a nerve-wracking day for every person in Israel. People in my country were glued to their TV screens, waiting for this momentarily, to get this little sigh of relief amidst the torture, the ongoing torture that we have been going through as a nation since the October 7th massacre. Hamas terrorists, they know that. They know that we are a nation that, unlike them, values life. And I can tell you that we are very proud to be part of this nation that is so committed to the principle of leaving nobody behind. That is really the epitome of the difference between us and these terrorists that we're fighting up against. They openly say that they want to sacrifice the Palestinian civilians of Gaza for their sick goal of obliterating the state of Israel. We will not let them achieve either of these goals. And one more thing that I want to say, we saw the release of 4 children yesterday and 8 more today. We still have 22 more children in Hamas captivity, including, you mentioned before, 4-year-old Abigail, who's also an American citizen. And we want to be able to tell these people who were released today and yesterday that they are 100% safe, that Hamas terrorists will never get to them again, that Hamas will never rain rockets on their communities again. We still can't say it at this point, Alex. But we will be able to say it once we complete the other goal of this operation to eradicate the Hamas regime in Gaza.
One of the major demands by Hamas was that Palestinians also be released from Israeli prisons, and that is expected to happen tonight as well. Some 39 for the 13 hostages, Israeli hostages, who were released today. How many more do you expect to be released in the coming 2 days?
I don't have a specific update for you, but I can tell you that we will continue to fulfill our obligations as part of the deal that has been agreed upon. And there's no moral equivalency here. There's no whatsoever. We have to highlight this part because viewers have to understand that we are getting back children that were stolen, innocent civilians, mothers. We prioritize, of course, women and children, but we still have many other hostages that are still being held in captivity for more than 50 days now. We will get all of them. We want to see all of them back home, but we are releasing Palestinian prisoners. Again, these are people who were convicted of actions that they have been involved in terrorist activities one way or another. So there is no equivalency here. It's important to say it.
Well, many of them were not convicted. Many of them were under administrative detention, held without trial, without charges, and many of them were children themselves, growing into teenagers.
Involved in terrorist activities, one way or another.
All right, Tal Heinrich, we do have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I do know how difficult this period is, and we are, of course, thrilled to see the hostages who have gotten out today, and hopefully dozens more to come, if not more, in the coming days. Tal Heinrich, a spokesperson for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you very much.